Okay, Capri Suns, what is going on for you guys this month? I said that in a TikTok video and you guys were like, she said Capri Suns, not Capricorns. I know. Okay, let's see what is going on for Capricorns for October / Libra season / the next couple of weeks, 4 weeks. This is for Capricorn suns, moon, rising, Venuses, Marses, potentially Mercury's. Read for whatever placement you feel called to. Okay, so first we'll just start out here with a general reading, seeing what's generally a theme for this month. Okay. All right, so I did kind of like when I was warming up the cards for you guys, these cards kept coming out, and just now they came out again, except we have the Empress reversed here and the Lovers upright. So, and then we also have the Two of Wands. So this is great. This shows me that you guys are definitely experiencing some things that are finally moving along or finally showing up this month. Things that you may have been waiting on, asking for, especially here with this Empress being a theme here. A lot of you are just figuring out what it is that makes you feel in your best energy. The Empress always reminds me of just like sunbathing on a Sunday, just like really what I'm really reading here with this for you guys is there's a sense of focusing this month, focusing during October on what makes you feel fulfilled in your home life, what makes you feel comfy, satisfied, satiated, nourished, all of those lovely feelings that earth signs love, feeling connected to their environment. This is very important. And some of you maybe have worked on something that did not bring the rewards that you expected, or just maybe you've been working consistently towards something and it hasn't really showed up in rewards. But because we have this Empress energy coming out here, again, it was upright, now reversed. This shows me that there is some of that coming this month, but you may not be there just yet. You may not be at a place where you're fully in the rewards of what you've been doing, or like, better put, you're not totally at a place where you can eat the fruit off of the trees, of the seeds that you've planted. There's still a little bit of work that needs to be done, and what this is really telling me is you don't want to eat the fruit too early. You don't want to like expect the reward too early, or else it might not be ripe. It might not taste right? So there is definitely a comfort here, a happy at home feeling, but you also want to be aware of where you might be overindulging or over expecting those rewards to show up right away. So there's still a little bit of hard work that needs to come, but this is definitely a month of enjoying some of the life around you, enjoying your environment, feeling comfortable where you are. It's hot. And then this Two of Wands here is a really great sign that there's prospects that you may not see right away. So especially for those of you who have been feeling stuck career-wise, work-wise, waiting for either a job opportunity, project opportunity, collaborations, or just some kind of like promise of what you've been working on, some kind of like sight ahead, some acknowledgement may come with this as well. But this is definitely a sign that there's prospects coming in, that there's new options coming in, that there's new opportunities coming in. And then of course we have the Lovers in the center of this spread here for you guys. So this is a sign of new romance for some of you, but even just beyond that, of alignment, like especially if some of you have been cutting things out of your life or reevaluating things in your life. This is a major sign, because it is coming out here in the middle of this general spread for you guys, that there's an alignment happening, that you are aligning your actions with your intentions, your choices are coming together with what you want long term. And again, some of you may find that some romance shows up or a partner shows up. Again, this can have to do, this is like an obvious romantic card, but this can also have to do with people showing up in your life that are just aligned with you, with what you're doing, and also again like decisions and choices and opportunities also being very aligned with what you want. And so kind of looking at these cards together here, this is definitely a month of things coming together. This is like, I mean, you guys have really been waiting for this from the last reading, so this is definitely a month of things coming together. And again, because you might see things starting to come together, you might feel like you can just put your feet up and kind of relax. But there is, because we have this Empress reversed here, there is a sign that you don't want to just kind of like throw the towel right away, right? You want to make sure that you are still double checking everything. And because we're in Mercury, we're about to start Mercury retrograde, we're in Mars retrograde, you don't want to be too out of touch with work that does still need to be done, or just making sure that, again, like T's are crossed, I's are dotted, all that fun stuff. But definitely alignment here. There's definitely alignment that's happening. Some of you may have made a pretty big decision, or just may have made a decision in the past month or so, in the past couple of months, and you may even just this year. I'm seeing this month as being very holistically connected to the rest of this year, like earlier this year. So this is definitely going to be a month of progress for you guys. And again, alignment, we love to see it. Let me see here what else you need to be aware of, what challenges may come up this month, anything that you want to make sure you have your eyes out for. Okay, yeah, so already having the Seven of Cups just hop right out here. That feels connected to all of these. Let's see. Okay. Hanged Woman reverse and the King of Cups as well. So what this is showing me is that, again, because you guys have things aligning, you have things coming together, you may feel like you want to just call it a day in some sense with, like, okay, let's say you've been asking for something and it shows up. And so you might feel called to be like, okay, perfect, that's all. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's out of my head. But what the Seven of Cups is showing me is that you might have a lot of options coming to you this month. This can relate to anything and everything. So this can be career, this can be living situations, opportunities, even just like the thoughts that you're having as far as any decisions that you need to make. You might have something that comes to you right away and it feels like, oh, that's right, that's it, I don't need to think about it anymore. But this is a sign that there's more options, and some of these options may not be what they actually appear to be, because we have all of these cups here. This card is always such a good representation of like seeing all of the options, but maybe not fully being able to tell which options are actually what they appear to be. So this is a sign that you do want to be aware of anything that you might feel like super persuaded by or super influenced by right now. Again, especially with this Two of Wands here, there's prospects, there's new opportunities, especially like for, I sense that a lot of you guys are going to have people reach out to you this month for something, like, again, for an opportunity or some kind of advancement in something. Could be something that's coming back around to you, but it may not be what it appears to be. So just be aware that if something shows up and you feel like you have to jump on it right away, like you feel like you have to say yes right away, give it a little bit of time to really think about it and make sure that it's what you want before making a decision. And again, especially because October we have these two retrogrades going on, everything is not what it is going to appear to be. So be very wary of jumping into something too soon here, and just making sure that you're taking time to really look at all of the perspectives of something. Like, don't just look at something from one side, go to the other side to get a full perspective of it. And then having the Hanged Woman reverse come out here along with the King of Cups. The King of Cups is showing up to me in kind of an external party way, meaning that some of you might have an opportunity to contribute more this month, like whether this be aligned with the work that you're doing or just aligned with like a higher calling, a higher purpose. There's definitely a sign here of having the opportunity to contribute to something. So this might be some like pro bono work, some volunteer work, some opportunity to contribute like ideas or your experience with something, to even just something like helping a friend or helping someone who's going through something that you've already been through. There's definitely an invitation here to give, even if you don't think you're going to receive anything back. And some of you might have someone coming into your life who is playing that role for you. So someone who's coming into your life to just give without really expecting anything back, or someone who's coming into your life to kind of open up your eyes to where you can contribute more, how you can give more, how you can feel more purposeful and helpful and humanitarian in what you're doing. I always associate this card with kind of being Aquarius energy. Some of you might have Aquarians coming into your life, or just that Aquarius energy of like thinking about your shared humanity with what you're doing, thinking about how what you're doing is helping the people around you, and even the people that you can't see, how what you're doing is impacting people beyond what you can see. And then we have the Hanged Woman reversed. So this is showing me, because this is coming up here with the King of Cups, I'm seeing kind of two meanings with this. This general meaning I think will resonate with some of you here, where whatever that is coming into your life and kind of offering you, whether tangibly or intangibly, a way to contribute, or awakening your own need to contribute or need to kind of fill your life with purpose, maybe more so than it has been filled with. This is an indication that some of you may be presented with that kind of opportunity, but sit on it for a while, or maybe think that it's too much of a decision to make at that time, or that maybe you don't have enough time on your hands, or you feel like you don't have enough time on your hands. So some of you may have an opportunity to contribute more in some way, but you may turn down like an initial opportunity that comes, or you may just wait on it a little bit too long. This can have to do with like this can also have to do with like lost opportunities. So there's definitely a call here to kind of contribute again without thinking that you're going to get anything back. And if some of you feel called to do that, I don't think that there's any need to overthink it. I think you can just kind of show up a little bit in that sense. And I get that this doesn't totally have to do with career for a lot of you. Now, the other meaning, the other interpretation I'm feeling with this Hanged Woman reversed here is that some of you might have like opportunities right under your nose, or you might have ideas that come to you that you want to act on. Again, it could have to do with some kind of contribution, volunteer work, or just like something that has to do with, again, connecting with your community. Some of you might have opportunities that are sitting in front of you, or that you're thinking about, but you might not act on them right away. So with this Hanged Woman reverse, there's always this feeling like there's maybe too many things that you're considering, and that can lead to like indecision, or that can lead to like decision fatigue. So for those of you kind of looking back at the rest of the spread here too, with the Seven of Cups and with the Two of Wands here, some of you might feel like there's too many options in front of you and you can't make a decision, and that can lead you to, again, indecision or just like stillness. So what I would really recommend with this, for those of you who this is resonating with, is to decide what is most important to you right now, and in a sense of like the categories of your life. So for those of you who are really focused on work right now, or Capricorns, so always, or for those of you who may be more focused on like home life or your family or something, try to do one thing within each category that's bringing that sense of contribution, that's bringing that sense of fulfillment. So that way you don't get caught in decision overload or indecision. Okay, let's see what else we have coming up for Capricorns this month through October. I am definitely feeling like there's a kind of light that's showing up this month, where some of you may have felt like in the dark a little bit. I know a lot of people feel that way right now, but definitely feeling like there's a light that's showing up, which is great. Fuck yeah. Okay. Since you guys always want to know about work, let me pull on that. Okay. Work and career. Okay. Okay, so for work and career for you guys, first thing that's coming out is the Ten of Cups. This shows me that some of you may have previous engagements that you just didn't follow through on, or that they just kind of led to a dead end, or something just didn't work out with a previous work engagement or a previous idea. There's some sense here of coming back to that this month, but I'm actually getting that you might not come back to it. It may come back to you. It may show back up in your life, a previous project, a previous colleague, work acquaintance, or just like a conversation you had with someone. There's something indicating that there's going to be something showing back up in your life, and kind of asking you to like close it out, like asking you to bring it full circle a little bit. So this may also have to do with like any of you who might be feeling a little bit like uninspired right now, or just a little bit in the abyss of everything. Revisiting some of your earlier thoughts on something, or like reading your old journals, or just like looking through some old notes that you have on a project or something. This is an indication that kind of looking back can help you get a better idea of what you want to do moving forward. Again, this is for work and career for Capricorns. And then we have the Ace of Cups reversed here. This is showing that some of you might feel creatively blocked, like you might feel like you can't fully put your emotions into what you're doing. Like some of you might just be really logistical right now, like in your head a little bit too much, but you're definitely feeling called to be able to release some emotion, and you want to do it in a creative way. You want to do it in a way that feels like it has purpose. Fucking Capricorns always need some purpose to it, right? So this is showing me that for those of you who do feel like you've been kind of emotionally or creatively blocked, there is an emphasis here to not put as much pressure on yourself to like make the best art as it relates to some emotions or to some creative block, but more so focus on the emotion itself. Focus on where you're blocked and where you can release, and the art, I think, will come naturally. I don't think it needs to be forced. I think it's going to come naturally to you guys. And this may not have to do with like a job, but more so like a project, or again, looking at what I was just saying with the Ten of Cups reversed, just like an idea or something that you feel, and even again, looking at this King of Cups, something that you feel like called to do, or some way you want to contribute. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to do it in like the best way, but just allow the emotions to kind of guide you there. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles here. For any of you who have either felt burnt out or who have experienced burnout this year, this is a sign, and this was the card that came out for you guys last reading in September. And what I was saying is, like, for those of you who are starting a new health routine, or who have committed yourself to something like health-wise, like taking care of your health, you might be falling back on it right now, and it might be affecting your performance. So whatever it is that you guys are, if this resonates for you, whatever it is that you have committed yourself to, let's say it's a better sleep routine, or like what you're eating, or what you're doing in the morning or the night or whatever, check in with yourself to see if you're still holding yourself accountable. And if not, see where you might be losing out or missing out on your best performance because of something that you're falling back on, or you're not staying consistently committed to health-wise. And then lastly here we have the High Priestess. So kind of, again, jumping back to like these first cards that came out, there's a sign of alignment this month, right? There's definitely alignment on your path. The people you're meeting are very aligned right now with where you're going. But some of you might still feel like your intuition is a bit blocked. You might be like things might be happening externally for you, but you might not understand as well as you usually do, like why someone's showing up, or why something's showing up, or what you're supposed to do, which path you're supposed to take, right? All of these prospects, all of these options coming in. Some of you might not know what to do. And, you know, Capricorns are very intuitive, but sometimes it's easy to get out of our intuition, out of touch with that like higher sense of wisdom or higher sense of guidance. So with the High Priestess reversed here, this is a sign that some of you might just be a little bit out of touch with your intuition right now. So getting back in touch with your intuition, again, not having anything to do with work, but just being able to like dedicate some time to getting in touch with yourself a little bit deeper, a little bit more spiritual, this is going to help you with your work. This is going to help you with your creativity, help you with the progress. And generally, this is a very common theme right now, again, because of all of the retrogrades. So if you do feel intuitively blocked, give yourself a couple months. There's definitely a clearing coming once we do get past these retrogrades. Okay, and let's see if there's anything else that you guys are called to. Okay, and let me just do one more pull here. Actually, let's do this. Okay, and lastly here, let me pull from my other deck and just see if there's any other messages or just anything that wants to kind of express itself to you guys. Let's see. Oh, this is so funny. Somehow I had one of my cards from this deck just jump out in this deck, so that has never happened. Wow, okay. Six of Swords. So there has been a letting go happening in your guys' life. You've been letting go of something. And this has been a big theme for a lot of you. Maybe letting go of a past relationship, maybe letting go of like expectations of something, like the way that you expected something to go, or just generally letting go of a part of yourself, transitioning, moving on, right? This card is like so powerful in the way that it just came out. And so it's really showing up here as like that holistic view of this spread, of everything I've just shared with you guys. The theme of anything in your life that's going on right now that might not give you answers or might not be explainable, it's about transitioning. It's about migrating onto something more, something newer, something that's aligned. Again, looking at this alignment here, something that's aligned for you, but it may not explain itself right away. So again, kind of jumping back here to the High Priestess reversed, for those of you who might be really trying to find an answer to something right now, or just like enjoying where you're at, but also wondering maybe what's coming, if you feel that there is something that is still unexplained, it doesn't need you to go deep into it right now. It just needs you to know that it's about letting go. It's about moving on. So there's definitely a theme here, very powerful theme. Some of you may have cut like cords with someone or cut ties with something, or just like accepted a different reality or something. Like definitely a lot of power here with clearing space for new things to come in. And then we have from the deck that I meant to pull from, okay, that's beautiful, probably very helpful for some of you guys. You're very close to achieving your goal. And this was the only card from that deck that really came out, and it hopped right out, so this feels very true and very powerful for you guys as kind of a closure to this reading. Again, jumping back to the first cards that came out, there is alignment coming this month. There is a trust in your path, trusting what's coming, and being able to trust what comes involves being able to trust that what has been, and that what you're letting go of is a part of moving on, right? So this is a great sign that some of you might really start to see those rewards coming in, that effort paying off this month. So have a great October, Capricorns. And next reading that will be posted is, you guessed it, Aquarius.